Episode 15 of Real Ranked is going live right now. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Real Ranked. Today, we're going to be talking about top 10 sequels that are released 10 or more years from the original with the release of the new Ghostbusters movie. And so I'm just going to bring up who we have today, starting with Albert.
Hi, excited to be here. I thought this was in honor of Spider-Man No Way Home, with being a sequel to Spider-Man 2 and 3 and 1. Obviously, that's standard, but I guess not. I was in the loop now.
Yeah, actually, it was supposed to be for Top Gun Maverick, which did not come out. So, and then we also have Kenny.
Hello. That's my first time seeing the intro, and it was awesome. So I'm happy to be here.
That's all. This guy, Albert, made it. So
good job, Albert.
Thank you. I love that song. I love the intro.
So today we're doing top 10 list. So our code word is going to be who you're gonna call. So we also have in the live chat.
That's my buddy from home. I sent this to him.
Nice.
All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start it with my number 10, which is Army of Darkness. All right. This is just a really fun movie. I think I watched it for the first time earlier this October and just had a lot. It's like really insane, but I just had a really great time, and just takes the Evil Dead franchise into a new turn. And Bruce Campbell is always great as Ash.
I'll be honest, I didn't realize it was released post more than 10 years. When was the release of
It's 11 years after Evil Dead. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't realize that. That might have made my list because I love. I watched all three around 2017 freshman year. Yeah, around that time. And I was like, okay, Evil Dead, super scary. Evil Dead 2, super awesome. Evil Dead 3, wow, it's a comedy. Didn't see that coming. So I absolutely love it, and I think this is my favorite of those three films. And it's a lot of fun. I love how much it changed from the original, but it still have the heart of it. It's a good fun time. I literally did not realize I was 10 years after. So yeah.
Yeah, 1992, and then the Evil Dead is 1981. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I watched the first two Evil Deads for the first time last month, and those were really enjoyable to watch. And I can't choose like which one's better. They're both equally great. I love them.
Okay.
Steven in the live chat saying yo.
Sup,
Hey, Steven.
Okay,
Albert, what is your number 10?
All right, my number 10. I'll be honest, number 10 was the hardest one for me because I know what's gonna be my number 1, and like the 1, 2, 3, 4, the top 5, like I sort of know it, and like the bottom half is the one I'm like, oh, which one do I want to cut? Which one do I not want to cut? So I had a tough time deciding what I want to do for number 10. But at the end of the day, I decided to go with Mary Poppins Returns.
Who are you gonna call?
Okay, all right.
So wait.
All right. Okay. So Kenny, let's go to your number 10 then.
My number 10. So my reasoning for this was I chose my entries in that it wasn't 10 years before the original. It was 10 years before the last predecessor. So Toy Story 4 didn't count. I don't know why. I don't know what my. Oh yeah, Toy Story 4 didn't count, of course, because it's 9 years. But I didn't do any of the Mission Impossible movies, especially like I would have picked Mission Impossible 6. But my number 10 was Finding Dory. I just think it's an incredibly solid flick, and out of all the options I had to put it at number 10. So, and it's definitely doesn't live up to the original, but it's still a very like enjoyable Pixar film. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I like Finding Dory. I don't love it, but I don't think it's a
Mhm.
bad movie.
Mhm.
So I think there's still a ton of heart with and then Dory's like backstory and all that. I think uh it kind of answers a lot of questions that like we don't need answered,
Mhm.
No one asked
like
for
Solo.
it.
So, but it's cool. It's not a bad movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked Dory when it came out. The first when I saw it in theaters, I thought it was charming. It was sweet. There is some heart to it, and over some rewatches, it's like there's still some good parts, but there are some insane parts. Like spoiler, the otters, the sea otters, with the octopus driving the truck. That was like insane.
I think
And
that was my favorite moment watching it. That was
It's great,
5 years
yeah.
ago. Yeah, I love that part.
yeah, it's
With
wild.
the truck and all that. I just remember. I think I watched it with like my grandma like
Yeah.
5 years ago. Great time.
Yeah, and yeah, the animation is definitely great.
Oh, yeah.
It has some solid parts. A friend of mine told me this a while ago, and I cannot unsee it now. I couldn't remember what the other film my friend said, but Finding Dory and one other film is like the two most unnecessary Pixar films, and I'm like, compared to the other of the list, it's like, yeah, that sort of makes sense.
Was it Monsters University or Incredibles
No,
2?
I think it might have been one of the Cars. I don't know which one. Might
2
be
or
Cars
3?
2. Maybe Cars 2, I think.
Okay, yeah, that would make a lot
I
of
don't
sense.
remember exactly, but yeah. But I remember one of them signing Dory, and I'm like, yeah, I guess you're not wrong there. But yeah.
I would think that Cars 2 is like on the least favorite Pixar film for everybody. So I think that's like the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
So bringing this up earlier, Steven, with the Evil Dead trilogy.
Yeah, so this one was 2017 and Finding Nemo was 2003, right?
Finding Dory is 2016, but
16.
Yep.
Yeah. You brought up Monsters University. I did not include it in my list because it's a prequel, or else it would
That's
definitely be
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So, all right. My number 9 is Incredibles 2 on the Pixar train.
Who are you gonna call?
What are you gonna call?
But what number? Well, should we not say like what number it is? I guess yeah.
No, let's not.
I think we
Yeah.
both said it. So we'll wait.
Keep that element of surprise.
Of course.
Cole says a good dinosaur exists, though.
Maybe it was Good Dinosaur. I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah,
I mean, it would make sense if like they were talking about sequels.
unless they're talking about sequels, yeah.
But you said it was like the most unnecessary, and I think Cars
Yeah.
2 is like the most unnecessary. They could have done
The
something.
only reason that film exists is because of the Mater shorts and to make money.
Yeah.
Okay, so my turn, right?
Mhm.
So my number 9 is Blade Runner 2049.
Who are you gonna call?
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah. We'll wait a bit for that one. My number 9 is Borat's subsequent movie film.
Oh, that's a good pick.
I remember when this was like everyone was talking about it because there was a set video of Sacha Baron Cohen like in a car driving as Borat, and everyone was so confused why that was happening, and then everyone deduced that a movie was coming out. So I just remember watching that. It was a couple weeks before election night, and it was just it was a fun time, and there's some great moments in that, and but I don't think you can make another Borat film. I think that's it. I think it's only those two.
I haven't seen this one, so.
Oh,
I
Yeah,
feel like you can't really watch it now because it was very like designed for like election like season 2020. Like
2020 specifically 2020
yeah,
or something.
yeah.
But I feel
So
like you can still enjoy it. I feel like
yeah,
Mhm.
it kind of would feel you know, but like when it was released and if you factor that in, I think it's a very like very fun movie, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. This is a fun film. I think it's not. I love the first Borat,
Mhm.
and the first time I watched both of them is actually when it came out. I never saw the Borat before that, but I love the first one so much that when I watch the second one right away, it's also kind of a little bit disappointing because this doesn't hold up. But it's still a fun film, and I think it has much more of a commentary than the first one,
Yeah,
which is something different.
definitely.
But yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen is great in it. I cannot remember who played her daughter. It's Maria
Maria
something.
Bakalova.
Yep.
Baklava. Yeah.
Yep.
I was thinking baklava, but like, isn't that a dessert? I was like, that's not right. But
Baklava
yeah,
is it just
baklava. That's what I was thinking. But yeah, Maria Baklava. She's good in it too. With the daughter. Yeah, it's a good pick. Good pick. It's not thought of
I
that.
mean, she got nominated, right?
She did
Yeah.
deservedly.
All right. So my number 8 is Mamma Mia. Here we go again. Which is exactly 10 years after Mamma Mia. So
Oh, there you
I
go.
forgot. Okay, this is gonna be a trend for me of not realizing that it's been 10 years.
I'll have a couple of those, and that I didn't realize
I'm
those
already,
were exactly
I'm already
yeah,
upset.
I spent a long time trying to like make like my list because I was like trying to find sequels that were actually 10 years after.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I mean, Mamma Mia, great movie, love it. And the Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again is also just really, really fun. You can't go wrong with ABBA songs, right? And then, yeah, I mean, Lily James is great. She's yeah, I think it's just a really fun time. Really solid sequel.
I have really only seen the first one in passing, you know, when my mom would watch it in the living room, and sometimes just randomly. And I have not seen the sequel at all, but I just know that people love them. So I'd say that's a solid pick.
If I realized this film was 10 years, if I remember that it would have made my list. I blame the whole internet because whenever I typed on best film at least 10 years or after, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again never comes up. So internet, you failed me. But this film is superior to the first one. I don't know if this is the minority.
There's a hot take,
of the
I think.
opinion.
I heard that the other day. I heard that opinion.
Well,
Somewhere.
I don't really like the first one, but I love the second one. It's so much better. The songs is great. It has so much more heart to it in terms of the story. It just works better in terms of the story for me. And Lily James is fantastic in it. All of the younger cast is all so perfect, perfectly cast, and the performance is so good. And just the blend of both the current and the past works so well for a film that is literally revolving around ABBA songs. But it works. It's just so good. But yeah, love this film.
Yeah, I think who's the cinematographer? Because like they went hard for Mamma Mia. Here we go again. Like the cinematographer is just like, oh, like they
I don't know. I know Ol Parker directed it. The cinematographer is Robert Yeoman.
they did a lot of stuff with Wes Anderson. So Grand
he did Grand
Moonrise
Budapest.
Kingdom, French Dispatch is all him.
He did 2016's Ghostbusters.
2016's Ghostbusters? Oh, okay. Would that qualify for the list or no?
Is it?
Because I feel like it's kind of like Mad Max in a sense.
I don't know. There's no reference to the older ones.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I was just making sure. Not that I would put it up there, but
Fair.
All right. Albert, your number 8.
My number 8 is Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. All right, nothing. Okay. This film is so much fun as a sequel to the original Jumanji. Yes, there's not much relation from the original to this one, except from the mention of Alan Parrish as the character from the first one, as well as the Jumanji game itself. But it's such a smart reinvention of the film. The four main cast they have such great chemistry, and they Dwayne Johnson's pretty much Dwayne Johnson. There's like no difference about it. Kevin Hart's Kevin Hart. Karen Gillan I thought was awesome in this one, as well as Jack Black just steals the show every time in this film. He's so good, and just again literally the reinvention of, instead of bringing the game into real life, they bring the real life into the video game, and they have to play with the avatar and everything. It's just so smart. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun. It's a great action film. You can just put it in the background and have fun with it, or you can just watch it for real. And it's actually, it's just a great film as a whole. I do prefer the sequel, The Next Level, over this, but that is not 10 years, so I'm going with this one because I still like this one a lot. Have you guys seen it?
I saw it in this weird phase where I saw like 3 straight Dwayne The Rock Johnson movies in theaters. I saw that, and then Rampage, and then Skyscraper for some reason. I don't know. But I like, it's been 4 years almost, so I'm trying to remember it a bit. But I think I enjoyed it, and I had fun because I watched it with my 2 brothers, and we had a good time. So.
Yeah, I watched this around 2018 for the first time. I think it's a really fun movie. I agree, and I think just like the cast does really well, especially Jack Black. So good. Yeah.
when
he's to say.
Yeah, when he's teaching Karen Gillan's character how to flirt, I love that scene. That scene is so good. Yeah. All right.
My number 8. It's Incredibles 2. So
who you gonna call?
My number 7 is Jason X. I had to put one Friday movie on the list, and Jason X is the one I went with just because like this is just so much fun to watch, and like seeing Jason Uber Jason and like in space is just so much fun. There's so many great kills, and it's just like refreshing after 8 and 9 because those are bad movies. And then the 10th one is just like it's a breath of fresh air. So,
Albert, have you seen this?
I have seen this.
Okay.
I'll give you the fact that it's different and it's fun that way. It's not a good film, so it's just literally Jason in space, and that's why it's like so insanely bonkers. And there's like an android that you have to fight and everything. It's a wild ride, but it's at the end of the day, it's still a Friday the 13th film, which I don't think any of them, except maybe the 2009 one, is somewhat good, but all of it, yeah, it's okay. When was this released?
2001.
2001, and the previous one was okay.
Wow.
I didn't know it was 10 years. Okay.
Yeah, I need to work on my Friday the 13th movies. The only one I've seen is the original. So, but I watched that for the first time last month, and if it was still spooky season, I'd be watching more Friday the 13th movies. So. but I've heard some things about Jason X, especially the costume. So
I want to say something, but there's like police siren. I don't know if you can hear.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I heard a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to say, you put this over Mamma Mia?
Yeah. I know, right?
What? And over Army of Darkness?
It's Jason X.
Okay, yeah, that's my fault. Then I should realize both of those films exist and put them in my list instead.
Maybe it's the enjoyability, I guess. Maybe it's just it's a fun time.
You will rewatch this more than Mamma Mia and Army of Darkness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. I see where your film tastes. How it is now. Okay.
All right. So Albert, let's go to your number 7.
My number 7 was Kenny's number 8. It's The Incredibles 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like this film. I like it a lot. For the longest time, we never really know if this was going to happen or not. The only extension of the first Incredibles that I know of was a PS2 video game that exists. I don't know if any of you played it, but it was so much fun. But yeah, when this came out, it's like, okay, cool, awesome, I love it. I'm looking forward to this because Incredibles is, if not my top 2 favorite Pixar film. So yeah, this I thought this film was great. I like that they switch a lot of the stuff that in the first film we see a lot of the action from the perspective of Bob, Mr. Incredibles, and in this one we see it through Helen and how different it is. And like there's a lot of similar stuff like the stopping the train and like everything. And then so it has a lot of parallel to the first one. And then I just love everything that Bob was trying to deal with Violet failing to. That scene where Violet goes to the diner and then water just squirts out of her nose because Tony Reidinger was there. I love that scene, as well as Jack going nuts and Bob not understanding how math works. It's like, why do they change math? Math is math. But yeah, I love it. Lots of new heroes. Frozone is awesome in this one. The villain is okay. I think it's a lot of fun. It's a great sequel to the original.
Yeah, I agree. I thought a lot of the action sequences are great. The best part, I think, at least for us when my family went to see it, was all the Jack stuff. We love that, especially the short film that was released with the first Incredibles movie, with the babysitter. That is a great short film. So I just thought it was a good sequel. Doesn't live up to the original, of course. You can't beat the original, but it still was a good sequel. So
yeah, no, I think you guys already mentioned like most of like what I liked about it as well. I think just like also giving Elastigirl a motorcycle that's like really adds a creative element to the action, like how it can split apart and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I think one of the weakest elements is definitely like all the new superheroes that they introduce. Like none of them are really that memorable, or just like, and the designs are not very good as well.
Void is good. I like Void.
Yeah, Void is like, the exception, but like
they saw Kristen Stewart and decided to make her a superhero.
Who's the big guy? There's a big guy, right?
There's Brick.
Yeah, Brick.
Brick, I think.
There's Crusher as well.
Crushour. Yeah.
Crushour.
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't have this in your list, huh, Matthew?
No, I do. I had it as my number 9.
Oh, okay. I forgot. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we both
said who you're gonna call.
Okay.
But I just I think the villain, or I just and then also just like new superheroes and just comparing to the original,
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Kenny.
My number 7 is Halloween 2018, not to be confused with the Rob Zombie one.
Yeah.
Okay, then no who you're gonna call. I think this this is something for the Halloween sequels, where I know that like critically or like people, it's not the sequels to Halloween aren't very looked upon highly, but I very much enjoyed this one. I thought they took it to a good direction, and I loved all the scenes. Like that one scene in particular in the suburbs where the camera's just following Michael, and you see him go through house and house, and it's just it's basically all in like one shot, and it's great. And I think they made Michael like really brutal, and they amped it up from the original, and they even were very self-referential as well with when they said that. It's 3 kills, like 40 years ago. But then they amped it up and they made it a pretty memorable sequel. And we don't talk about Halloween kills though. So
no, we don't. Yeah. I watched this for the first time this year after watching every Halloween movie, and so this was, I think, it's just like very thrilling and like kind of reinvigorates the Halloween franchise after her. Mm-hmm. I watched the Rob Zombie ones, So yeah, no, and I think Jamie Lee Curtis being back is great. Like I think any movie with Jamie Lee Curtis besides Halloween Kills, I think it's just like it always adds a lot, and it's just exciting to see her again. I think it's cool to see her relationship with Judy Greer and their granddaughter.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think great reboot sequel to
Yeah. Yeah, I almost had this in my list. And then I was like, I feel like maybe out of all the other films, someone else would have had this in the list. So I'm going to not put it. And I guess that gamble paid off because you have it in your list, so we can talk about it. Because I like this film too. And I think this is the second best Halloween film after the original. How can you beat the original? But yeah, I like that this is the direct sequel to it. Saw it when it came out in theaters. Rewatched it again recently. And I still really like it. I think it's a solid story. One of my favorite scenes is also in the trailer. It's when he dropped the teeth to the bathroom stall. That was so disgusting. I was like, ugh, but it's so well done. And yeah, it's a great again reboot sequel-ish kind of thing. I think all the new characters are great. Like you guys already mentioned, Jamie Lee Curtis being back is awesome. I mentioned this on the Halloween ranking episode, but my favorite scene is still, aside from the teeth, of course, is when what's her name, Judy Greer, the mother, the daughter of Jamie Lee Curtis, when she was like holding a gun and she's like afraid, and then Michael Myers appear from the stairs and she's like, "Gotcha!" You're like, "Oh shit, that's cool." I love that. And also Julian is awesome.
Yeah,
I think that's his name, right? His name, Julian? Yeah.
Julian is the best character.
As soon as he sees the boogeyman, it's like, oh shit, all right, you're on your own. Just run. And the baby's there.
Yeah. I'm sad we only saw him like on the TV in Halloween Kills. He was just like getting in Halloween Kills. He was being interviewed, I think, and he was
he was. He was like
a very I was looking out for Julian. I was like, I need to see him in Halloween Kills.
It was a great like I saw that movie I think opening weekend, and that was a great experience, everyone reacting and all that. I loved also especially when you're talking about that gas station scene with the teeth, like you can see Michael in the back like twice, I think, killing the mechanic, and you see it like first him actually doing it and the second time dragging the body. It's just in the background, and it's just like it just makes the whole thing like more threatening, like just scarier, because the threat is looming, so it's great.
Yeah, for sure. All right. My number 6 is Zombieland Double Tap, which is exactly 10 years after the first Zombieland, which I really love the first Zombieland. And so the sequel, I think it's about the same as like the first one, whereas I think the comedy is really good. I think the original cast is great. Like they coming back after 10 years later, I think that they all have really great chemistry together. And I just new additions like Zoe Deutsch, just big standout from the movie. I think everything she does is perfect, and she was really funny without being overused, which is not every comedy can do that. So great action, just or fun action, just and then reinvention of having different kinds of zombies is also great.
Yeah, I like this film a lot. I love the first Zombieland. One of the reasons I didn't decide to put this in this list is because most of my other films in this list sort of reinvent the original in a way, and I thought this one didn't really do that. I guess you can say the zombies being different is sort of a reinvention, but it's like they don't really change much, I guess. They just stick to the same formula pretty much. And I mean, it's nice to see how they progress and everything. It's a lot of fun. I like the zombie kills of the week that they add. Actually, I mean, it's literally what you love from the same one. They just amped on it in this one, and it's great. It works.
The end credits also are really hilarious.
Oh, the end credits is so crazy.
Isn't that with Bill Murray?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the third Garfield film.
Yeah. I forget what the third Garfield movie is called.
I think I watched that on YouTube because I think that I think Bill Murray was probably my favorite part out of the first one.
Yeah.
Was my favorite part of that movie. But I can't really say a lot about the first one. I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites. I was like, yeah, it's a pretty good movie,
Yeah.
So
that was the first R-rated. The first Zombieland was the first R-rated film I ever saw. So I had like an
Really?
I have attachment to it. Yeah. I didn't even know it was R-rated. My cousin was. I don't even know how old I was. My cousin's like, hey, let's watch this. I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm like, this shit is awesome. So yeah.
Right. Andrew in the live chat now, he says, I don't know what movies we're talking about, but Fury Road is number one.
By the way, Garfield 3, it's Flabby Tabby. I looked it up.
Yeah, Flabby Tabby, of course. Yeah, that's what they're gonna name the new one with.
Chris Pratt. Well, that'll be on this list in a couple of years.
Yeah, the Garfield 3 post-credit scene was supposed to be like the day zero kind of thing, right? Of the zombie outbreak. If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it was like the first day or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
All right. Albert, what is your number 6?
My number 6 is a sequel set a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. It's Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
What's it? Who are you gonna call?
Okay.
Yeah. Should I go with my number 6? My number 6 is Mary Poppins Returns.
Okay.
I just thought it it's one of those movies that like it's great and it like kind of just works well with the original. It's like what other like kind of like the Pixar movies, but I think it's a bit better than the Pixar sequels. There's some great musical numbers, some great additions to the cast. I think Meryl Streep is a great addition. Emily Blunt as Mary Poppins is amazing, and then Ben Whishaw and Colin Firth, and of course Dick Van Dyke coming back. I just think there's just a lot of like magic and wonder with Mary Poppins, and I watched it with like my grandparents, basically my whole family, and it was just a great, like, amazing time. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, it's a very like magical movie. I think like I was just smiling throughout, and I think the songs are all pretty good. I really enjoyed the music in this movie, and Lin-Manuel Miranda does a good job. And then there's just some great dance numbers, like with the set design and just really, really exciting stuff. And then I also like when they went into 2D animation, like how runs it. Yeah, when they go into the Antique Bowl or what, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, I had this at my number 10. It's really bold of them that they even attempt this, but it works. It works pretty well because the first one is such a great film, and then this one it has the same tone. It's going for the same thing, and I think it works. And the recasting, obviously, you have to recast, but like Emily Blunt playing the role of Mary Poppins, I thought she's very great in it as well. And yeah, like I agree with everything you guys have already said. The song that got nominated for the Oscar, the Place Where Lost Things Go, is so good. And yeah, it's just such a daring film, and it pays off, and that's what's great about it,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. This one could have made my list, but I wanted to, include other stuff that.
Out of curiosity, Matthew, did you make your list after or before we submit our list to yours?
I made it, or I had like a list of movies that I wanted to put on. I had more than 10, so then I was just like, I'll have to.
You'll take out the ones that we have, so we can.
Nah.
Okay.
That's why Jason X is in there.
That's the only reason why.
Yeah. All right. Jacob's in the live chat saying Toy Story 3 is everybody's number 1, right? We'll find out.
Anything, can't see anything.
as we go to my number 5, which is Doctor Sleep.
Who you gonna call? I forgot that
Ooh.
word.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Okay. So my number 5, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So this is a. Let me just give some premise. Some of you, when you hear this film, you might be like, "What the fuck?" But I have an explanation for it that works in my head canon. I don't know if you will agree
Uh-huh.
with it or not.
Uh-huh.
Also, I like this film more than some of the films on my list, but because of this argument I'm gonna make, that's why it's on my number 5. But my number 5 is 2009's Star Trek. And again, I knew no one's gonna say it, but no one's gonna say who you're gonna call. But the reason why I have it here and why I qualify it as a sequel, and spoiler for the film, even though this is sort of a reboot, but they
I
brought
see where
back
this is going.
Spock
Yeah.
from the
Yep.
original timeline,
Yep.
which means it's technically a sequel. As the I don't know what's going on. There's so many fire alarms. There's so many fire trucks going on. But it's a sequel to the original series after Undiscovered Country. So the fact that they did that, I qualify that as a sequel. It's just continuation of the character. And as a film, this film was just so good. It's so well done. They managed to bring back back the characters with an original cast, and it works. And even the story is tied back to the Spock storyline, because the villain exists because of Spock Prime from the original timeline, because Nero's mad at him. And it's just a nice reboot to the series. Also, again, continuation, and it's shot really well. The action is great. It's not boring like some of the older Star Trek films. This one is a lot of fun. All the new casts are fantastic, and yeah, it's just so well done. The script is really solid as well. But yeah, that's why Star Trek 09 is number 5. Again, I like this film more than some of the films on my list, but because of my argument, some people might not agree with. That's why I put it lower on the lower end a little bit. So yeah, that's number 5.
I have not seen this one in a while. I know I enjoyed it, but I don't know what a typical Star Trek fan would, because it's very different. I know that for sure. So I can't speak on the behalf of Star Trek fans. And it also, like, J.J. Abrams is, I think he's hit or miss for me. There's like some good hits. Like, I think I like the Star Wars, and then well, not Rise of Skywalker, but Mission Impossible 3 I actually really like. But I don't know. I have to rewatch this. It's been a minute, and I didn't put this like anywhere near my list because I didn't classify as a sequel. But your justification's great. So
yeah, that's what I worry.
Yeah. I haven't seen this in a long time. So yeah, when you were talking about how it was shot, I'm like, lens flares. Yeah,
I mean, it's good. There's a lot of good shots in this film.
But
the
no,
VFX is also so good as well compared to the older Trek films. And I love most of the Trek films, so yeah.
Yeah, one day I'll watch all the Trek movies.
You still haven't?
No,
I've seen the motion picture.
I've only seen Wrath
More
of
recently.
Khan. That's the one my dad wanted me to watch. So that was also a long time ago. So I don't know.
I wonder if anyone in the comments is going to be pissed because, like, oh, Albert's cheating. That's not.
Well, we'll see in a couple of minutes, I guess.
Jacob also mentioned. Okay, never mind. Dr. Sleep.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Kenny, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is Candyman, the one released this year. Watched this 2 months ago. I haven't even seen the original, but I thought it was great. There's a lot of what is it? Like there's like talking to my friend who had actually seen the original, and there's a lot of connections to the original. And I thought it was gonna be a total like a reboot or whatever, but I was very surprised for it to be like technically a sequel. Yahya Abdul Mateen the second, that's his full name, is like a great lead. I think he's great in that movie. I've seen him in Aquaman, Watchmen, and Trial of the Chicago 7 now. He's gonna be going places. He's gonna be like the next movie star, like the next big movie star. But he was a great lead. Coleman Domingo, who was in If Beale Street Could Talk, was also great. Like, I don't want to say anything about his role in the movie, but
he's so good.
Yeah, he does a really good job, and the setting of Chicago really works. Like with its I'd say grimy, and then it's like very posh and elegant sections of Chicago. And there's this one shot that was like a pan out from one of these tall apartment complexes, and then there's like some big action happening like in this one room, and then everyone else in the other rooms are just carrying on with their life, like watching TV and all that, and you're just sitting there like as the camera's still panning out for a couple more seconds, and you're just like it's scary. It's really good. So
yeah, no, I think Nia DaCosta does a really good job directing this movie, and like I think like you were talking about, the camera work is really good. I think
yeah.
Also, like with the mirror shots, like I think everything looks great.
Yeah,
and I think it deals with the themes of like racial violence and gentrification pretty well. I think, and the original did that, but I think more subtly, but it still works.
Yeah, this was a bit, I'd say, less subtle, which wasn't bad at all, but I think it really works.
It works for the movie. I think the movie just works well in general. So
the animation sequence was really well done. I really like that. So
when they tell the backstory.
Yeah, the animation is really good. So
yeah, this is I watched this recently, both of the original Candyman and this one. It's a nice continuation to the story. I agree again with everything you guys have said. I'm trying to recall some aspects of the film, but I don't think it worked as effectively as the first one. I appreciate the message that they're trying to go with, but I just don't think it works for me too much. Because there's a sort of a line of disbelief that you sort of have to cross to sort of like fully accept. Like I don't want to spoil it too much, but there's something that happens. But yeah, I don't fully. I just don't fully fall into it. So I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool, but yeah, okay, it doesn't work as well as it could have probably. So yeah.
Jacob in the live chat saying he wishes for more Tony Todd. He also agrees with Albert.
And my thing again was, without going to spoiler, it's the reinvention of the lore that they sort of did. It doesn't fully work with me, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good film.
All right. Mine number 4 is Dawn of the Dead, 1978. So I think the first one is really, really good. And I think just like how I'm not gonna go into the first Night of the Living Dead that much, but Dawn of the Dead came out 10 years after exactly. So but I just think it works a lot better on its like taking place in a mall is just such a great place for a zombie movie, and the commentary on consumerism, like I think just works really well here as well, and just. I think what it does better than the first movie is making me care about these characters. And I was invested in them, and like I was like, okay, I wanted to make it out of there or just like survive the their time in the mall. So in 1978 the effects look really good. So yeah.
I have never seen this film, so
me neither, so I can't really say anything about it.
Yeah, you guys should definitely watch the Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead. I haven't watched the rest of Romero's Dead movies.
How many has he done?
He's done 6, I think.
Oh wow!
There's Day of the Dead. No, there's others, but Maybe I can't remember. Maybe it's
Does
just
Dawn of the Dead count as like that was the Zack Snyder one, right? Or whatever.
Dawn of the Dead. The 2004 one was Zack Snyder. Yeah.
Yeah. But that counts as part of that like franchise, right?
Yeah. I think it's
Okay.
a remake, but
Okay.
I haven't seen it, so I don't actually know. I don't. It's not in the same universe, at least. I don't think. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Would you say this is the best? This is the best film in the series, or not?
I've only seen 2, so far, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll get to it eventually.
All right. Albert, what's your number 4?
Number 4 is Doctor Sleep.
Jacob, it's not number 1.
I'm sorry, Jacob.
Jacob.
It's still a very good film. Again, a lot of the themes that I'm going with is like reinvention of the first one. And again, this is the sequel to The Shining from 1984. 1980. Okay.
Yep.
All right. 1980. And yeah, it's a great film. Ewan McGregor being Danny Torrance is great. I like that they also had like somewhat flashbacks, but not well. Yeah, it's flashback. They recast people look-alike sort of. I believe it's Henry Thomas, right, that plays the father. I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, he's in like all Mike Flanagan stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it's Henry Thomas of E.T.
The father in Hill House.
Yeah, I think he plays.
Well, he's in all 3 of those Netflix shows. So.
Yeah. But yeah, I like that they do that. The third act is insane. Going back to the Overlook, I know there's a lot of stuff that they didn't, and this is because they tried to combine both the books sequel of the original book itself and try to make sense in the universe of the film universe, which is why they combine and mesh it too. Which I think, and again, I've never read the book, but I think it worked in this case. Going back to the Overlook, I thought was a nice touch to it. And again, that the what's the name of the bad guy team? The Knot something. True Knot. The True Knots are terrifying. Rebecca Ferguson is great in this. And that one scene with Jacob Tremblay. I just randomly decided to look up the scene again like a few days ago on YouTube. That is heartbreaking. Jacob Tremblay's performance was insane in that one.
Yeah.
And it's like super disturbing to watch as well. It's such a great So yeah, it's number 4. It's a well done film.
I have a confession. I actually have not seen The Shining, which is terrible. But I've seen what have I seen of Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey, which is I gotta turn around
behind you.
Yeah, right there. And also Full Metal Jacket. But I kind of am motivated to watch The Shining for Dr. Sleep, and I don't know if that's bad or not, but I think that's good. But I've watched a lot of Mike Flanagan stuff recently. I watched Gerald's Game for the first time a month ago, and Hill House, Bly Manor, and Midnight Mass are great. Especially Midnight Mass and Hill House; those are really good series. And I've heard that like Dr. Sleep's a really good sequel, and it like they blend like the movie and the book well, while also being like technically a great movie. Like it kind of like remember in Ready Player One, where they recreated The Shining.
Yeah,
with the just everything. I feel like would you compare to that, like how it looks, like how the hotel looks, Albert?
I think maybe visually, because Ready Player One is supposed to be like video game, it feels a little bit more glossy in a way, and this one feels more grim. Well, not grim. I wouldn't say grim is the right word. It's more, I guess, more like more grim, more grounded in a way. It's not very glossy because it's supposed to be like real, and maybe they do use real sets in this one compared to Ready Player One's. I'm assuming Ready Player One they use like just CG. I don't know.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, it feels there's definitely gloss factor to Ready Player One set for the Shining for the Overlook.
Just because CGI,
yeah.
But I know that Stephen King does not think highly of the original movie, so that's just interesting. That I think just to appease Stephen King, they meshed everything together. But that's awesome that like it works. Like those actual like supernatural elements that are explained. works well with the unexplained of the original. So
Yeah, no, and it's just interesting to learn more about like the lore of The Shining. I think,
Mhm.
Doctor Sleep does that well.
Yeah. Again, like I've said and like everyone have said, the combination of the book and the original is, I think, what makes this film work so well. Just the
Mhm.
meshing of the two background together.
Hmm. Yeah, no, great movie.
Mhm.
I feel
Should
like
I go with
Albert
my
said
number
everything
4?
that I would say about it. So, yeah, Kenny, what's your number 4?
So my number 4, I would put it higher, but I think just for all like general perception of the movie. But I mean, if anyone knows me, it's like my one of my top 5 movies of all time. It's Tron Legacy. I think my number one favorite thing about this movie is the soundtrack. Like Daft Punk. Like I've listened to the soundtrack, I think, for at least 10 years now. And I have it. Oh no, I don't have it on vinyl with me right. Oh, it's at home somewhere. But I just absolutely love the movie, and it works for me. Like I know for some people the story can be kind of weak, but I think it works. And you can bring up CGI Jeff Bridges as well, but like the visuals are great. Like they just use like they just have a creative vision. It's not like the same movie. It's not like I feel like some sequels are where they kind of just make the same story. Like it's a totally unique story. With I feel pretty attached to the father and son aspect of the story, and the soundtrack can't be beat. I think it's probably like the top 5 best soundtracks of the 2010s. So I absolutely love the film.
I haven't seen this in a long time. I think it's been like almost a decade since I've seen this movie, and I remember watching it because I think my family and we went to this like bed and breakfast, and they just had this the Tron Legacy like Blu-ray out, and we just decided to put it in. And yeah, that's how we watched the movie. But it's been too long for me to really say much. But the soundtrack is really good. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw this one along with the original sometime last year when I was going through some Disney live action films. I This one was fine to me. I appreciate all the score, the music, technical stuff. I thought it was really good. The story, I didn't have an attachment to it, and I guess maybe it's just a testament to the world building. I thought the first one was not that good, maybe because of the visuals. The first one's visuals was kind of it's hard to watch. It's that, yeah, but
the first
very,
one's definitely outdated.
it's
like,
very
very,
dated.
very outdated.
It's very dated. But yeah, this one again, the visuals are great. But maybe the first one left a sour taste enough in my mouth that when I watch this one, I'm like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
this is okay, this is cool, but I don't really care for it too much.
Mhm.
But yeah,
I watched Legacy before I even watched the original one.
okay.
I feel like you can watch it without even
Yeah.
even watching the original. I feel like it's just kind of it's like its own thing, but it still is connected with like little like it doesn't rely on you having to watch the original. Like you have like Alan and you have of course Jeff Bridges and like a lot of the same ships or games, but like they're just so like elevated from the original that you can just watch it like without having to know anything. So
Yeah, that's for sure.
okay. All right. So my number 3 is Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
who are you gonna call?
All right. So my number 3 is Toy Story 3.
Who are you gonna call?
Who are you gonna call? Yeah.
Okay.
Because my number 3 is Toy Story 3. So.
Okay. That's still who you're gonna call.
Okay, so
All right.
yeah, then it's back to you, right, Matthew?
Yeah, so we'll go to mine now, which is Mad Max Fury Road.
Okay.
That's my number 2 exactly. So.
Oh, okay.
All right. Great. Yeah, I haven't seen a single Mad Max movie besides Fury Road. So, but I just think this is one of like the greatest action movies of all time, and just like the way it uses practical like effects and just explosions and all that is amazing. And just I think Tom Hardy is great. Charlize Theron is, I think she stands out particularly, and Nicholas Hoult is great as well. I think just really interesting characters, and just this journey to. There's like not a whole lot of plot, but it's just really cool to be in this world.
Yeah. Again, this is my number 2. This film is incredible. I don't think I appreciated it enough when the first time I watched it, but upon rewatching it, it's insane. Just everything. How I know that everything was what's the word? Practical. The word everything was practical. It's insane. The visuals. This scene in a sandstorm is crazy, and the plot of this film is so simple. It's literally them going from one place to the green place. Turns out there's nothing there. They decide to go back. That's such a dumb plot, but the film works so well because of just the visuals and the character work and the performance by Charlize Theron, by Nicholas Hoult, by Tom Hardy. They're all really well. And the villain is simple, but it works. And yeah, just the action and the music, it keeps you just mesmerized at everything. Like the full runtime. I don't know how long this film is, but that was done so well to the point where you literally just mesmerized despite the very simple plot that it is. So yeah.
I didn't put this on my list because I counted this as a reboot, so I didn't count this as like a continuation of the existing, Mad Max story. But this would have been on my list if I didn't put that in. It's an amazing movie. My favorite thing is the music. The music's like so like thrilling, and it's just like it's just crazy. I mean, Junkie XL does a great job, and everything, like all the practical effects are insane. Like all the trucks that they created for it, it's just an amazing movie, and it's like one of those like true blockbusters, like just amazing blockbuster.
Yeah, the flamethrower guitar is so cool.
Oh yeah.
So Kenny, you didn't consider this as a sequel. Have you seen the originals? The other?
I have seen the first one.
Because I have not, and which is why I just blindly say that it's a sequel. So maybe I don't.
Yeah, because it's like this is, I don't know. This one is just its own thing. That's why I didn't count it, because it's not. I don't think it's like a continuation of Mel Gibson's Mad Max. There weren't a lot of were there references? I don't know, the references to his like wife being killed, or I don't even know. I forget, but that's what happens in the original. So that's what he just takes revenge. So, it's like I feel like this one is just light years ahead of the original. Like if you look at the original, it's good, but like you can't beat Mad Max Fury Road. It's definitely way better. So
I'm so happy this got Best Picture nomination.
Yeah.
That was cool.
It's a while to see him get Best Picture. Yeah.
Okay.
So is it mine now?
Yes,
yeah.
Your number 2.
So my number 2 was Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Which, okay, no one has that number 1. Good. Okay. I think that this movie was like the number 1 thing in 2015. Like it was crazy, like the frenzy for it. And say what you will about it being like pretty much the same movie as A New Hope. It's still a good movie, and I think they do good things with the legacy characters, and just to make like a great Star Wars film. And I feel like what kind of led to like the reaction to the other two is that like this is really the only movie you could really make. Like the rest, like I feel like with I feel like the ones after The Force Awakens are kind of mixed. Like the reaction's kind of mixed. I feel like this one has the most positive reactions. I don't know. It like I that's all I can really say.
Yeah. Yeah. This movie is great. I think I still remember my theater experience for that because I that theater experience was just insane and like everyone was crazy and yeah, there's just a lot of exciting new elements and like new characters. It's cool to just like introduce these new characters in the same universe, and I think it does it well, even though it's similar to New Hope, but it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I like this film a lot. I think this might be like my maybe top three Star Wars film. Maybe I don't remember my exact rankings, but it's really well done. I love all the new characters, and again, I just rewatched this again recently. I love all the new characters. They set up so well. Kylo is set up well. Rey is awesome. I love Rey. Finn is great. Poe is amazing. Just a continuation of after all this time seeing them since Return of the Jedi, seeing them all back is so great. The music is fantastic, and like everything you already said, it's such a thrill and such an excitement seeing everything back, everything that you love. And again, there is nostalgia factor because it's similar, but it works. My only gripe against this film is again because of the sequels. It's like every time I rewatch this film, I'm like, "Fuck yeah, this is Star Wars is awesome." And I watch Last Jedi, and I'm like, "Okay, it's still okay. This is still good." And I watch Rise of Skywalker, and I disappoint myself. And like every time, that's always the end of the rewatch for me because I have to go through all of them again and have to go through Rise of Skywalker again every time. So every rewatch, I'm like, "Damn it, it started off so well." So yeah, it just ruins some of the characters development because
I feel like you could have a whole like 2-hour discussion on The Last Jedi. Like with this, like with Real Ranks.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to get into it, but I kind of enjoy that movie a bit. But
I like Last
I
Jedi.
know a lot of people don't, so I won't say anything about it to stir anything. So
I like Last Jedi for the most part. It was just Rise of Skywalker that I don't really like.
Yeah, no, I think everyone can kind of agree that Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. But yeah. This film was great. A lot of this stuff.
Yeah,
maybe it's awesome.
I can never forgive this one like classmate that I had. I don't know what grade I was in 2015, but he like his uncle had like went to the premiere and he told him that Han Solo died, and he told me that.
Oh my god!
Weeks before the premiere. I was like, "What the hell?" It was terrible.
That's so bad.
I was watching the movie. I was like, "Okay, maybe it won't happen," and then it did, and I was like, "Oh."
That sucks so bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, that is a great moment though in the film.
Yeah.
Some other smaller moments that I love. When Kylo Ren first stopped the phaser from being shot and just over there, like, oh my god, that's cool. And just when he was in a in his emo angry face and just smashing everything, and there is a group of stormtroopers walking the corner and they see that and they just walk away slowly. I love that scene.
Yeah. Okay. So my number one is Toy Story 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I love Pixar, so this is probably expected. Toy Story 3 is my favorite Toy Story movie. It's in my top 5 Pixar, and this is the first Toy Story movie I watched in theaters, and I just like have really fond memories of that experience. I think everyone remembers the when they're about to go into the fire and just like, but I think the part that makes me cry is like the ending when Andy's giving all the toys away, and like we see Bonnie like wave Woody's hand and say goodbye, or so yeah, I just it's just and then it also just deals with a lot of mature themes about growing older. I think I grew up with Toy Story, so just like going through life, and then I watched it again last year. I think it's like I got to understand those themes a little bit more, being in college, because like when I was 11, 10, when it came out, I definitely didn't quite get there, but I just really love this movie, and I think the characters are all great. Lotso, like new character, I think as a twist villain worked well when I first watched it, and I think he's great. The Prison Break aspect is also just entertaining.
For sure.
Yeah, this is my number 3 on my list. I love this film as well. This and Toy Story 2 is very interchangeable of which one is my favorite of the trilogy. But this one is great. Like everything you said about the ending breaks me every time, even though how many times I watch it. Just the way how the music works and the final line, like "So long, partner." That one just fuck. But yeah, it's great. I love everything in Sunnyside with Lotso and all the other new toys. Everything with Ken is hilarious. Like when Barbie starts ripping the dress, all the shirts. I also like how they showcase how the different kids play with it. Like the one in the butterfly room, the one where Lotso and everything is like everyone is like so proper playing with the toys, and then all the main toys, the main characters, was put in the caterpillar room, and they're like a bunch of toddlers that just smash everything, put them in their mouth, and paint everything. It was like so chaotic. I was like, yeah, I like that depiction because that is true. There are different people play toys differently, and yeah. The monkey toy freaks me out every time. Yeah.
I think this is a movie that I rewatched a lot as a kid. It probably was like being played on everyone's like Chrysler, like the cars that had the DVD players in them. Like I'll play it all the time. My youngest brother would always rewatch this. Like he would always just watch it like again and again on repeat. So it's very memorable in that way, and that how many times I've watched it, and how good the emotional like story beats work. Like how like with Andy and that the fire pit, those just work well, and those are like within like 30 minutes of each other. So I bet some people were wreck after that. But it's not like the same, movie as like 1 and 2, which is also great, and expands on a lot of things. And it's kind of like they're just like very like unique, creative, and enjoyable films. Like all 4 of them. So
did you have this in your list?
Yeah, this was number 3 as well for me.
Number 3, okay.
Yep.
So it's 1, 3, 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Albert, what is your number 1?
Okay, my number 1. Again, this is I need a little bit of convincing to do, but I just want to talk. I just want to talk about this film because, in terms of release dates of the last film in this franchise, 9 years, so it's really close.
Oh.
But this story is not connected to the last film, but it's connected to several films before, and it's Creed from 2015.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Have you seen this? Because I don't want to.
Why didn't I include this? I did.
Yeah, because okay, so I'm assuming you've seen it. So Rocky Balboa is 2006, which is the previous one, but this one technically you just need to watch 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can watch this because it's connected to Apollo Creed, as well as a sequel with Victor and Ivan Drago. But this film is so fucking good. It's one of my favorite films of all time. I think this is superior in the first Rocky film. And it's just everything from the performance is incredible. Tessa Thompson, Michael B. Jordan, Sylvester Stallone. I think this is his best performance to date. Just the direction that Ryan Coogler is doing. Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan is just one of the best pairings in cinema right now. There's so many great shots. There's like a long one take when he's fighting in the ring, and it's so good. You explore his opponent pretty well, but mainly this is just a character story about Adonis Creed and just like his arc, and it's just so well done. There's so many aspects to it, and like the music is good. Every time I watch this, my first instinct like, fuck, I gotta work out. This is so hype because it's what makes you, and the montage, it just makes me feel that. But one of my favorite things in this film is there's a quote near the end of the film, near the end of the fight, where Adonis is like badly injured, and then Rocky's like, I should have stopped the fight with your father. I'm stopping this one now. And then Adonis is like, don't. Okay, let me finish. I gotta prove it. Prove what? That I'm not a mistake. And that one just hits me to the core every time because it's like, fuck, that's so good. And just delivery and the whole fight. And yeah, it's so well done. It's such an inspiring story.
This is definitely, I think, top 5 movie experiences or theater experiences. I again, I didn't include this. I just didn't like think logistically like with Mad Max. I should have put it. It would be on there. But I saw this movie when it came out in theaters all by myself. No one was really in the theater, and I was like right in the middle, and looking right at the screen, and it was a great time. That montage, the I Fight You Fight, like the training montage, is like my favorite montage, I'd say. The music is really good with like the slow-mo and the bikes, and like the music just like pounds. It's so good. And like my dad would, like, he showed us, I think I've seen the first 3 Rocky films. I don't think I've seen Rocky 4, but I remember the first 3, and I had known that, you know, Apollo died in 4. So like I just went in like knowing mostly everything about the Rocky franchise, and I still, you know, it was a great time. I really enjoyed. I just really enjoyed the movie. I won't forget watching it in that theater. So,
I watched this 3 years ago on an airplane.
Oh.
So, no, it's a great movie, and I think I remember after it, I'm just like, I want to learn how to box now. Like, because like it's just like so like thrilling. And just, like,
yeah.
But yeah, I think it's great. Don't have a lot to say about it since it's been 3 years.
Were you fist pumping while in the plane while watching that movie? Were the flight attendant confused?
Jumping up and down.
The flight attendant like, sir, I need you to sit down. Yeah. I saw this film around the time when it came out, but I watched it at home, and I never watched any of the Rocky films before this. But I still love it, and then I revisit the Rocky franchise because of it. But again, I think it works as a standalone, and it works as a sequel.
Oh, for sure.
Which is why it's so good.
Yeah.
If anyone who has never seen this, I sort of spoiled it already for you, but go watch it because this is such a
still
good
watch
film.
it. I think you can still enjoy it with whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Cole didn't see it until recently when I give him recommendations, and I say he said it's really good. So I'm glad.
There you go, testimony right there.
Even if you don't like sports film, it's a good film still.
Yeah, you don't even have to like sport movies to like it. It's a great emotional movie.
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite of Ryan Coogler's work. So yeah, I guess that's it.
All
Should
right.
I finish with my number 1?
Yeah, let's go to your number 1.
All right. My number 1 is Blade Runner 2049. I was surprised that you put this at 10.
I had it at 9.
You had it at 9, yeah. Behind Jumanji. I was like, oh, okay.
I froze.
I think this is my controversial take. I don't know people agree with this or not, but I think that this is better than the original. I watched the original, and I was like, yeah, pretty good movie. And I didn't watch the sequel for a bit because I was kind of I was like, oh, okay. I don't know if that maybe the sequel is going to be kind of like that, where it's like it takes a bit, you know, it's a little slow, but like still visually, it's an amazing movie. And then I watched 2049 like 3 months later, and I was just like blown away. Like the music is incredible. Like it takes music from the original, and then the visuals, like that is probably the number 1 thing that people talk about with the movie. I mean, Roger Deakins like blew it out of the park. And you have Denis like as a director. That was, I think, my first of his that I watched, and then I got into a whole thing. I watched like Sicario and Arrival and Prisoners and Enemy after that, like in like a month. But I think that it is one of the great sci-fi movies of this century, or like of all sci-fi movies, and I think it's a must-watch for a lot of sci-fi fans. Brian Gosling does a great performance as the lead. Like you really feel for him about like he like his identity, like his whole life could have been like a lie. I don't know. Or it's just him, you know, like he's just confused. So he doesn't know what's going on, like with the whole case that he's like, you know, intertwined in. But again, I think it's like probably it's one of those sequels that I don't think a lot of sequels, you know, are in this group where that I feel like that they're better than the original. You could maybe say that about Godfather Part 2. I think the first Godfather is better than the second. That's my opinion. But that's not a sequel that released 10 years after, so we won't.
Okay, so yeah, I think Blade Runner 2049, it would have made my list if I gave it another watch. It's just been a while, and I watched it on my laptop. I'm just like, I should watch it again, and you know, on a bigger screen, and I think it can, you know, it'll be up there.
I think with Dune, that probably affected. Like you made me like, maybe I should watch 2049 again on a bigger screen. You know?
So. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say so. Yeah, go ahead, Albert.
Oh yeah, I saw this when it came out in theaters. It's a good film. I feel pretty much the same way as I did with the first film. I think it's a technical masterpiece. The philosophical and metaphorical aspect of the story, I think, is really well done. It doesn't resonate with me that much. Because of the scope of it and everything, and it's also the same way how I feel with Dune as well. It's again technical masterpiece, incredible, but the story just didn't. I don't resonate to it that much. But yeah, everything like you said is good. And not Anya Taylor-Joy, Ana de Armas is great in this as Joy. I have mixed feelings about Jared Leto's performance in this film. But everyone else was pretty good.
I think Jared Leto is mixed with a lot of people. Like I don't think he gives a performance that everyone is like, oh, what an amazing performance. I don't know, especially with like I think everyone kind of realized that with Suicide Squad. So
he was great in Requiem for a Dream. So yeah,
but that was 21 years ago. So it's been a lot of films since, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I like this one slightly more than the first one. It's a close. I have to rewatch both of them again just to see.
Yeah. I did like it more than the first one. So. All right. Okay. So let's just go around and go through our lists. And I'm just going to start with mine, just to reiterate. My number 10 is Army of Darkness. Number 9 is Incredibles 2. Number 8 is Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. Number 7 is Jason X. Number 6 is Zombieland Double Tap. Number 5 is Dr. Sleep. Number 4 is 1978's Dawn of the Dead. Number 3 is Star Wars The Force Awakens. Number 2 is Mad Max Fury Road. And number 1 is Toy Story 3.
Okay, my number 10 is Mary Poppins Returns. My number 9 is Blade Runner 2049. My number 8 is Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. My number 7 is Incredibles 2. My number 6 is Star Wars The Force Awakens. My number 5 is Star Trek 09. My number 4 is Dr. Sleep. My number 3 is Toy Story 3. My number 2 is Mad Max Fury Road. And my number 1 is Creed.
All right, my number 10 is Finding Dory. Number 9 is Borat, subsequent movie film. Number 8 is Incredibles 2. Number 7 is Halloween 2018. Number 6 is Mary Poppins Returns. Number 5 is Candyman 2021. Number 4 is Tron Legacy. Number 3 is Toy Story 3. Number 2 is Star Wars The Force Awakens. And number 1 is Blade Runner 2049.
All right, so that wraps our show.
Does anyone have any honorable mentions? Sorry, Matthew, I'm just curious. Anyone have honorable mentions?
It would have been Mad Max and Creed if I had I didn't really know I made mine like a they're sequels to the existing story. 10 years after. I think I could have still done Creed. I don't know why I forgot about Creed.
That's why I signed up to the show, because I know people are gonna have differing lists and their definition of sequels might be different. This is gonna be a fun conversation. So I'm like, I want to be on this one.
I mean, most of mine have like where stuff that you guys have brought up, where it's just like I didn't really want to put it on my list because or just like Blade Runner 2049. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I didn't put it on. And,
I would have put if we were saying that it's 10 years since the original, mine was like 10 years since the last, like, the predecessor. I would have put one of the Mission Impossible movies. 4 or 6, probably Fallout. I think Fallout has taken over my number 1 spot. It used to be Ghost Protocol, but I think now it is Fallout. So
it's a perfect action film.
Furious 7.
I've only seen like 3/4 of the first Fast and Furious movie, so I can't say anything.
It's not even the best Fast and Furious one.
It's my favorite. So.
Oh, okay. Fast 5 is my favorite. But yeah, honorable mention for me. Tron Legacy was honorable. I thought one of you was gonna have Jurassic World, so I didn't put it in my list. So
that one I haven't seen some theaters. So I was like, I feel like right now I'm not the best judge of what my 16-year-old me was not about movies.
The only Jurassic Park movie I've seen is Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, so I can't say anything about that. That's a
do yourself a treat and watch the first one. The first one is fantastic. Sam will be happy as well.
I just had to know that dinosaurs existed. I went into the movie and I watched it in theaters. So
yeah, the first one's great. Yeah, I have Halloween as well as my honorable mention. Rescuers Down Under.
That's a good one.
What did I just had like a list of everything that didn't really mean that I was going to put in the top 10. Let me see.
I think Terminator Dark Fate, maybe, just because it's
I wasn't going to put. I considered Terminator. I was like, none of the sequels are good, so I'm not going to.
I like Dark Fate, but yeah.
Two that I had were these weren't going to be on the list, but these just were included: Space Jam: A New Legacy, and Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, no, that's never making my list.
Yeah.
Okay, two other ones aside from the one that everyone have said. Ocean's 8 I considered, but it's like a spin-off kind of thing. I thought it was still kind of fun.
I don't know. Yeah, I haven't seen Ocean's 8, but I love the 11, 12, and 13 stuff.
And the last one that I considered, but I couldn't for the life of me figure out if this is a sequel and if my argument for it would even make sense or not. But The Muppets 2011, because it's the same logic that you apply to like the to the Looney Tunes films, because like they're characters that play different characters in other films, although this one is super meta because they reference acting in the other films, but I just couldn't figure it out. I was like, this is too difficult. Just gonna opt out from including it as a whole.
I think I thought about it, but like I didn't include it
because it is 10 years after the original, after the previous one. So yeah, I was like, too tough to figure out. I'm just gonna opt out of it. That's all of it.
Maybe Cinderella 3: A Twist in Time.
I didn't know.
Well, that's
just because it's a sequel to the first Cinderella, not to Cinderella 2. So even though Cinderella came out,
there you go,
in 2002, because Cinderella 3 is a sequel to the original, not the second movie, it should count. But I did not put it on my list.
Also, if anyone was curious, that one was almost my number 1, but then I remember Creed existed, so that's why. I'm just kidding. That one's never been.
Put something on my TV, I guess. I should do that.
Yeah, next time.
Yeah. Oh, I don't want to steal your flair, Albert. So.
All right. Thank you.
All right. So yeah, thanks to everyone who was in the live chat, and then. Next week
we didn't make any bad picks, so
hopefully, yeah. Some people might be mad about Jason X, but we got nothing next week because it's Thanksgiving. But the week after that, we'll be doing Disney animated Real Rank. So just all the Disney theatrically released movies because of Encanto.
Have fun, man. There's like 60 films in there. fun ranking
it's
60
inviting,
films.
you know?
Oh,
It's gonna be-
that's gonna be like a 5 hour.
3 people talking
live
about
stream.
movies. You know, this one was only an hour 24. So.
You could say that the sequel's 10+ years was not just for Ghostbusters Afterlife, but for The Matrix as well. The Matrix Resurrections.
Exactly. There's a lot of sequels coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you to everyone who is gonna watch this later too. And then we will see you in 2 weeks.